Hi, I'm Steve Ruth, professor in the SPGIA, and this is a very brief set of comments on the class posts. And it's going to be very brief because the subject is taken up in so many places in the normal course materials, but I just wanted you to hear it from me since I'm going to be your professor in this course. The basic theme that I want to leave with you is just this one, that there is a trade-off. It's a trade-off that many students have found to be very attractive for them. And I don't know of any that haven't who have stayed with me in these courses, and I've done lots of them now. But it's posts, that is posting frequently versus coming to class 15 times. The course is identical in content to the face-to-face version, except that the in-class experience is mostly traded. We do meet in class a couple of times. That's why it's called a hybrid course. But the in-class experience is mostly traded off for online interaction. That's the trade-off of all hybrid courses, and a third of the students in college today are taking at least one. At George Mason, there are over 1,000 students who are taking. That's the only kind of course they take. Anyway, so please be aware, though, that if you do stay in this class, that the trade-off is crucial. It's absolutely crucial. And I'll be discussing it ever so briefly in a moment in terms of what the posts involve. But please notice the word minimum, because since I do have to put rubrics out there and statements so that you'll know what's expected, I use the word minimum in there quite a bit. And remember, minimum is just to pass. So if you comply with the minimum requirements on the posts, you'll probably pass. But I know everybody wants to do more than pass, so please take a very close look at the rubrics as you enter this course and all the way through it. Okay, the posting cycle, just as a reminder, it's in several places and the weekly instructions, but it starts Monday morning and goes through Sunday evening. So Monday morning of the first week, the posts are due, and I urge you, and really almost require it, so it has to be this way, that you do your posts throughout the week, that you make them frequent and varied, and also through the week so that you can respond to what other people say. And just simply putting a bunch of posts in at one time is not the idea behind this. Now, there are two kinds of posts that are mentioned quite a bit in the material that you've been receiving from me. One is the formal biweekly posts, and you can see that definition up there, and they're basically a minimum of 350 words. Remember that word minimum. And the first half of the alphabet is on the second week. So in week 2, there's none required week 1 starting the 31st of August. But week 2, A through K do formal posts. And there's lots of samples of what a formal post looks like. And of course, you can always ask me anytime if you want to have more information about it. The second half of the alphabet is on odd weeks. Informal posts, they're various snippets, course-related updates. Let's say you found you have a new finding on whatever its subject happens to be. I've also given you some samples of those. So the way the course moves along, there's lots and lots of informal posts each week. And I hope you'll go back and review some of the ones you put in that other people have put in. And of course, I participate too. So that is a quick summary of the two different kinds of posts, and they're worth a very large portion of the grade. So don't take them lightly, and if you do decide to join this format, then that's what's involved. I'm not going to even talk about this one, but you'll find this particular segment called "How Are Weekly Comments Graded?" You'll find that on the actually on our Blackboard location, right in the welcome menu, actually, along with samples. So you'll get very specific rubrics. That's what they're called. Sounds a pretty fancy name, but it's basically what ways that these can be evaluated and graded. And none of them are surprising at all. It's just that, and the comments that students have been putting in have been great. So everybody seems to do this very well. So don't forget to look that up, read it carefully, and keep an eye on that word minimum where it occurs. And to sum it up, posting frequently can become a habit. It really can be something that you do just as naturally as coming to class and raising your hand. And the only major difference is there's a lot more raising of your hand, and there's also a lot more people participate. everybody has to participate. So I found that to be very good. Most of the students have too. I think just about everybody has really, because these courses have been well received, and I've done them in several different formats of this sort, and so I don't think you need to worry too much. But just to be sure, ask yourself, is this approach for me? Is this what I really want? And if you decide you do want it, I will welcome you to the class. I'll be delighted to have you there, and happy that you're part of this approach. It's a very normal approach. There are a very large number of courses that George Mason taught this way, and tens of thousands around the United States taught this way. So you're part of a very important new way of presenting college material. So I hope you like it, and hope to see you soon.